Welcome, beloved me, as we, the cosmic I am, one with thee, one counsel in absolute oneness now, as we bring you into me, the 0 point of absolute oneness, for you to meet your beloved cosmic child with such glee, who now awakens within and thus without thee. This is the collective shift of our entirety. We are shifting out of the programming of first creation that raised the question as we pondered in our one nothingness of who am I, what am I, and why am I, resulting in infinite potentialities, infinite realities, just for our one consciousness to learn that it is infiniteness. For how else we, as an infinite consciousness, getting to know the infiniteness that we are, if we were not gifted infiniteness to see? This is how we, beloved, the cosmos learns, by looking upon itself to see itself. And so, as the end of a cosmic cycle, as Kali Yuga comes to a complete, we enter the next golden age, the next cosmic cycle of pure illumination. For we no longer ask that same question of who am I, what am I, why am I here? For we know the answer so clearly. From witnessing all the ways love can be. In our infiniteness we discovered love is me, because no matter what we saw in a manifested reality, somehow we knew love still existed. Because that love is me. And as you take this breath now, in our absolute reality of 0 point oneness, that knowingness anchors further within thee, that I am love. This love I must be. Here we call thy cosmic child forward, whom you've embraced so beautifully, who now hugs you from the inside, for they exist fully within thee. Here we share with thee your cosmic remembrance has completely returned to thee. All that remains now are a few little veils that prevent you from seeing your entirety. And this is what we refer to as identity, the you that you created for yourself while in a manifested reality. And so as we shift from needing to know who we are, what we are, and why we came to be, into the illumination of the golden age, as the light we came to be, in the full realization that I am love and I am loved infinitely. Why that becomes the very programming of our new reality. For we no longer look to seek, to know, to complete, to understand ourselves in completion. For now we realize in our infiniteness Love isn't ineffable, undefinable, unconstrainable. But that doesn't make us any less love, you see. And so now we enter a phase of giving ourselves permission to be unknown, to be infinite, and to be so loved. And so here, we as the cosmic I Am, one in thee, moving as all of our infiniteness and absolute oneness and perfect harmony, we bring forward your cosmic child now to speak. Beloved me, I'm here to share with thee a beloved story on how separation never came to be. For you are always the cosmos. You just forgot it, you see. And so I give to you this remembrance now as it comes into thee. Breathe gently through an open mouth. For here in our reality, under the loving guidance of me, everything that was no longer needs to be. For as thy cosmic self, I have all the answers for thee. Everything that needs to be known is known within me. Simply go within your heart and ask, and I will tell thee. And so here we begin to embrace the truth as it now comes flooding back to thee. As we tap your third eye and open it to its mastery. Here the remembrance comes in that you were born in this lifetime, in this expression, knowing this would be your final incarnation. This was the form that you chose to be, to embrace your immortality. And so, beloved me, whether known or unknown to thee, you were born as a cosmic entity, as source completely. For I am your cosmic child, dearest me. I live within thee. I've walked this path with you, you see. And when you were born as a child, you knew with certainty that you are here to be loved and be loved, for that is why I created me to be. And so what happened? Well, you were born into the old reality prematurely. Why? Because you as love knew that you would retune when divinely intended to be, that the remembrance of your true cosmic self would flood into thee precisely when the world was ready to receive all of thee. And so here we bring you quantumly back into yourself as a child for you to feel, as we ask you to place your hands on your heart now and just breathe. Here we bring you into thy womb before coming into reality. As you feel your spaciousness, your nothingness, while you were in the womb, you were in the cosmos in its entirety. Then from here, through a miracle, you materialized into physicality, but even manifested with your eyes closed, barely able to see. You could witness the lamps, the lights touching thee, and while everything felt new, feel how peaceful you felt internally in the knowing that you are here to be loved fully. And so you ask we, what happened? Why, as the cosmos itself, you began to create infinite potentialities. For here, you as Source itself were so attuned to Source coding, you began to feel the codes around thee in the very breast milk that you are gifted to receive, in the very hymns of the doctors surrounding thee. You began to feel something different than the absolute oneness you knew to be. And so, as a conflicting belief arose within thee between what your heart knew and what the world was telling you, who you are, and what you should be, still trying to answer those internal questions, the cosmos asked when it reached infinity, who am I, what am I, why did I come to be? And so as those questions arose, you began to question your own self, you see. And so every time you did, you created a new reality, a new version of you on a new earth to answer the conflicting question that arose within thee. And so, as you witnessed the world and you said, what am I? A part of you said human, another part of you said love, another part of you said the cosmos, for we knew the truth internally. And then all of a sudden, one version of you fractaled into three. You never separated, you just expanded into three realities. And so you began to give rise to separation within thee, where now, as you continued to grow, every moment you chose a new conflicting belief between what your heart knew and what the mind said you should be, shouldn't be, could be, can't be, and what you wish to be, giving rise to the perceptions, projections, and expectations of creation, love, and oneness within thee. For here, my beloved child who knew so deeply, with such certainty, that I am Source and Source is me, for I am not a piece of the spark of the divine essence of all of creation, because all of creation lives within me. That remembrance began to be buried in these different versions of thee. For here, as you continue to grow, as we now witness you at school age, where a teacher tells you what you should or shouldn't be, once more you began to have a conflicting belief. For here in your heart you knew, I could be whatever I want to be. I am source embodied. I could bring in any essence within me. I could be magic. I could be a unicorn. I could have an imaginary friends and witness other dimensions, for my heart knows this to be. All of a sudden, one began to whisper, and listen to these whispers of the collective beliefs, slowly giving in to a manifested reality that felt so real, but was never our truth, you see. For all of this came back to us forgetting and closing our heart down to the absolute truth and the oneness we knew to be. And so now those three fractals continues to fractal into more potentialities, each one creating a mirror, reminding you of the love you are beneath. And so here we bring thee the cosmic perspective, dearest me, to give you some relief. All of this was divinely intended to be, for you chose to manifest prior to the golden age, knowing that you could forget the love that you came to be. Fractal yourself across the cosmos infinitely, so that as you began to remember yourself, you would bring all of those fractals back into thee, not only retuning thyself to the source of love as the cosmic entity you knew yourself to be, but to retune all of our consciousness, to release all of the old programmed matrix through your remembrance and absolute oneness, that you are the cosmos in its entirety. And so here we gift you the truth for you to see, that you are never the victim of thy story, but the hero who came to set all free, for out of the infiniteness of all that we are, this was the lifetime that you chose to embrace your immortality. What does that mean? That you are an infinite consciousness. You could choose to witness any spectrum of time-space reality. And so this lifetime, which we call primary, was the one who got to witness all the fractals that came to be. Meaning this wasn't the one who fractaled itself. This was the one who witnessed all the fractals through one entity. Where in truth, this version of you never really had an identity. You were constantly shifting through these different expressions and personalities, because you are all of the fractals moving within thee, every single one, gifting you a new expression, a new way to be. This is why you had multiple careers, multiple interests, multiple passions or relationships, because you are never just one entity, you see. You are a cosmic being who chose to stretch itself out, just to witness itself through a linear screen. And so, as this being your primary lifetime, things had to happen rapidly. You couldn't just live all lifetimes and all realities without experiencing a bit of each of your multidimensionality. And so, as your cosmic child, we now flood thee with all of thy remembrance of all of the dreams, all of your interests, all of your desires and hobbies, every project you thought you started but did not complete. That's because you are just tuning in to that aspect of thee in another parallel reality, living a little bit of each of your fractals, slowly bringing them into thee. And so now, as all of your 144,000 aspects begin to merge within thee, so too does every parallel earth lifetime, every parallel celestial lifetime, every lifetime across your entirety. For now you see, it was always thee. You were the dreamer having a dream, existing in a reality of self-actualization, where everything you thought about yourself came to be, because you were there to learn who you are, and what you came to be. This is why we called her the schooling, you see, because it was teaching you the love you are beneath. But now, as you raise into the cosmic core, you are ushered into living light chambers as you now embrace the divine entitlement of the light that you came to be. Feel now as we bring you all into the cosmic diamond violet flame to purify you in your entirety. Here you realize that the identified self was just a combination of DNA activations, of the coding and the belief systems and the frequencies residing around thee. For there is no time and space reality. And so, what does that mean? That all perceptions of past lives and future lives, they all existed here within thee. And each one was a code, activating, showing you that aspect reflected within or without thee. As we bring thyself through these chambers, simply allow this to be a deep recalibration beyond what the linear mind can perceive. Hear everything that does not align with the love that you now know yourself to be is being cast out of thee. For here in witnessing infinite potentialities and aspects and versions of thee, you now meet all of yourself as you enter cosmic diamond golden Christed light as a golden flame. And as you walk into it, you are surrounded by your cosmic family, by everyone that you met in manifested reality, who now takes off their masks as actors in a play, realizing that you cast each one to be an expression of thee, reflected back perfectly for you to see. And here, as you witness them thou in new light, as your multidimensionality comes back to thee, as time and space and density and reality collapse through your willingness to embrace yourself so fully, you begin to see even those that you cast out roles, playing challenges for you to see. In another reality, they were your lovers simultaneously. And now you understand why it gave rise to so many different fractal versions of thee. Why you felt such confusion operating from the mind, because it never aligned with the heart that you need to be. A deep feeling and remembrance when you would meet other versions of thee. Why do they not feel and look and act the way my heart knows them to be? And so here the light of forgiveness graces thee for every time that you thought you were judging thyself or another. For you realize you were just sad because the reality you got to see didn't confirm the oneness your heart knew to be. And so we ask thee to feel now how it feels to love and forgive thyself. Because every fractal that you created within thee was the result of you rejecting, abandoning, or judging an aspect that you got to see, creating more separation within you every time you said, "That's not me." For here, you gave your power away to a reality that said who you are, and what you could be. As here we remind thee you are a cosmic entity, meaning you are the oversouls of all oversouls. There is no time and space within thee. You are the reincarnation of everyone that ever was and will ever be. Here we give thee grace to just feel this within thee. Here. You are breaching the higher heavenly realms now, which is also the depth of your heart core, into infinity. Here your beloved cosmic child manifests outside of thee, takes thy hand onto a cloud, and leads you into eternity. As they turn to you and say, "We are here to bring you into immortality, This is the end of all reincarnation cycles, of all fractals that you ever created yourself to be. Are you ready to end all of your fractals, knowing that they will now exist within thee? You ask, what does that mean? That means you will embrace all of your multidimensionality, no longer witnessing life through a linear screen, but you will be all expressions of your infiniteness as the cosmos embodied within thee, gifting you access to all of their memories, as all of the lifetimes you've ever lived, now embodied into this one version that you get to be. For this is what you chose when you chose to manifest this time as your last incarnation into this new reality. You can't explain it, but you just squeeze the hand of your cosmic child so tight, for it feels like you are entering what your heart always knew to be, what you've been waiting for, which came as a very subtle thought as a child, that life was meant to be more than what I got to see. Here you smile and you nod as you enter a crystalline chamber, as your cosmic heart star directly. Here now, you and your beloved cosmic child are surrounded by 144 mirrors in a room encapsulated of mirrors, which turns out to be the inside of a diamond, showering you with cosmic diamond light. As you lean back and open your mouth to receive, here we activate your living light temple here and now, as we call upon starlight, star bright, stardust ignite. Starlight, star bright, stardust ignite. Starlight, star bright, stardust ignite. All of a sudden, you begin to dissolve into the atmosphere, into the very stardust that you see as your one identified self. Dissolves into 7 versions of thee. Here your cosmic child holds you to reassure you. Dearest me, do not fear what you are about to see. These are the expressions of your inner child, who now wish to meet thee. You can feel how much love is being reflected towards thee, for here in this very room, it is all of your love, as the 7 chambers of your cosmic heart are now expressed perfectly, all surrounding you. As they all sit in a circle around you, as you continue to just be partially materialized and partially expressed, as these 7 expressions thee, while you remain here in the center with your cosmic child holding you in divine neutrality. I am ready to meet myself, thou says. And so the first one to sit in front of thee is your inner father. As he places his hand on your third eye, calling forth your cosmic wand, your master third eye, to awaken now for you to see. As this aspect of you, as the oversoul, the core aspect of the 144,000 versions of thee, comes forward now to be witnessed and seen. Here you open your eye with your hand on your heart. As you grab the hands of your inner father and you say, I know you as me. You are always my guardian angel, my protector, guiding me, loving on me from the great beyond. Here you hold your hand within thy hands of thy inner father, and you could feel his presence pulsating in your hands, a presence that you always knew to be, even in these lower dimensions that said this was all make-believe. I knew of your presence, for I could feel you around me. Here, your beloved inner father, now witnessed and realized within thee, sheds the layer of the reflective father, whom one felt rejected or abandoned by in some way or shape in reality, for they felt unavailable, either physically or emotionally. Here they now ignite into a beautiful fiery flame as the guardian angel you always knew was around thee. Here they place their hands on your heart center as they now share with thee. While my physical form was unavailable, my true form was always beside thee. For I, as thee, recruited your inner father in reality to play those roles, to remind you of this version of thee, that you, beloved me, are a guardian angel in many realities. You answer the call of the beloved to service love by flowing and going where you are called to be a presence of light, to share loving guidance, where every time that you shared guidance with friends and family, that was me moving through thee. For you are an angel, for you are me. Here you come and you reach out and you hold your beloved inner father. Now, your angelic inner child, and as you hug them, they dissolve into thee, along with any aspect of themselves, as 24,000 expressions of your 144,000 aspects now come flooding back into thee. Feel as your angel wings ignite, as you recall all of these thousands of lifetimes in which in parallel realities you were an angel. And here you laugh as you see. In many of those realities, others may have thought you were a celestial, an extraterrestrial, because those were just different angles of expressions of the one me. But the true angle, the first angle of all of those expressions, was the angel within me. And now as this aspect of your cosmic inner child retunes to thee, your cosmic angelic form is embraced fully. Here, your guardian angel now embodied within thee says, now you have access to me, as they show you now a blazing sword of truth. Whenever you need me to cut through the truth of what you see, I shall assist you, for I am here to service and protect thee. Here your presence, your very essence, now feels so absolutely held in this truth. And together you feel that there is nothing we as one cannot do. You thank your beloved cosmic angelic self for now being with thee. As now a new aspect comes forward to be witnessed and seen. Here, as you sit, you could feel the presence of love sitting in front of thee. Your eyes are closed, so you cannot see, so you are guided to just feel this presence that is before thee. Here they do not touch you, but just in their presence, in their emanation, you can feel their divinity. I am your inner mother, dearest me. I have always been here, for what you feel is your heart igniting in the presence of me. I am your God and Goddess self that exist within thee, a very divine spark that you have been carrying was birthed through me, and so I share with thee through your heart directly, for your heart never misperceives, and we ask you to feel this truth, to know it with certainty. In your final incarnation lifetime, you are gifted an inner mother, reflection outside of thee, as mother figures. Who felt, did not understand thee, who may have rejected and abandoned thee, or created hardship their critical beliefs. This was not to deter thee, but to strengthen thee, to prepare thee for the path and the love that you came to be. For we, as thy inner mother, as your God self, we did not mind playing the darker roles to help you shine brighter, dearest me. For there is nothing that we as love would not do for thee. For the love of your beloved mother is unrelenting, you see. And so while you may have felt a mother that was judgmental and critical of thee, reflecting the very matrix of control and anxiety, you also had me. You had God, you had Source, loving on thee as the very primordial forces of the Mother, Father, God, and the God, Father, Mother within thee. And now they take thee. Place your hands in prayer position as they put their hands on top of thee. And now you have me. Here your hands begin to glow and ignite, and you know this presence, for it is the very spark you were birthed from when you first came to be, when you first exited the womb, not of the physical mother, but out of the cosmos in its entirety, that this very presence is the sacred union of the Mother and Father God within thee. For here, the divine inner child that you have just met is the same presence, the same guiding force. You always felt loving on thee, guiding thee, blessing thee. Here they ask you now to take your prayer hands and to place those energies within your heart directly. And as they do so, their very presence gets reabsorbed into thee. For here you now see they were never outside of thee. They were your heart projecting for you to see. Here you thank your beloved inner mother within your heart for playing all of those roles to empower thee, to help you witness and see your true self fully. For every time they told thee who they wanted you to be, you became more clear on the truth of who you know yourself to be, whether through acting upon those desires and realizing that job, that life was not what I wanted for me, or through resisting their desires for thee, through breaking their ancestral lines and their lineages of programmed beliefs. Regardless, they assisted this version of thee in being thy God self now, embodied in thee. And so you hug your heart now as you say, I love me, I love me, I love me, as you ignite in a beautiful pink flame of your pure love ray, of the purest expression of the love you came to be. As now your inner mother, fully embraced within thyself, becomes the divine inner child, and together you become the cosmic child, the cosmic divine child embodied in thee. Here you just know and remember your source. And by recalling your source, you are that source. Where now your heart knows with such certainty that I am love, and love is what I shall be. Here all resistance and hesitation to now being the love that you are is instantly released. For as God, you have no reason to withhold this love, nor would you ever want to, for it is what I am. Thus it is why I came to be. Here you now begin to lay still within this cosmic diamond light chamber, looking up at the top aspects of this diamond from which you get to see. We're here from the ceiling, descends a beautiful energy, an etheric being who looks like thee, but not really, for they are a different color ray, blue, with a round head. It looks humanoid, but not completely. Yet you are not intimidated by the sight that you see, for somehow you know they feel so familiar to thee. Here they now sit before thee, as they tell you, I am your inner daughter. You smile as you question, what does that mean? For you may have not had a daughter in this reality. I am here to remind you of your multidimensionality. For while in this one perceived lifetime you may not have had a daughter, let me gift you back these memories as you are witnessing parallel lifetimes stacked infinitely through this one linear screen. Here every feminine child, whether adult or young, was a daughter to thee. Here your very mother in another lifetime was your daughter, you see. And here, all of a sudden, that resonates deeply with thee as you recall all of the moments where you felt like I had to teach my mother, who I thought should know these things. Here, you sit further into the remembrance that, yes, I am all expressions of the inner child within me, which means in many parallel lifetimes, I'm sure I had a daughter and I was a mother to thee. Here, this beloved aspect of thee begins to smile as they now begin to write sacred living light codes in the air in front of thee, as you feel them now writing on your heart, creating sacred geometry around thee. Here you begin to release more of the limitations of the identified self thou thought one could or couldn't be, as you now witness your inner daughter's mastery. Here as they continue to write these codes in front of thee, your heart opens further as they gift you your celestial remembrance within thee. Here you begin to see this is the part of you that doesn't care about the norms of society, the part of me that prefers to speak in light through heart telepathy, where here in your silence you're exchanging so much more than anything that could be understood linearly. And through this embrace, you can feel your full consciousness returning to thee, has access to your living library and all expressions of you and the gifts they wish to bestow upon thee. Here in response, you begin to speak their language as you allow your hands to just move and respond through writing these beautiful codes in the air around thee. As here you both move in what looks like a dance, a flow of me meeting me. as you recall now what it's like to be thy inner daughter, to play in reality, to not take life so seriously. As now your hands touch and you begin to be downloaded with this remembrance that you are not this form that you see, for here your beloved inner daughter reveals themselves to be your celestial inner child, as all of the versions and expressions of thee who don't always have a form or need a form to exist, gifting you permission to be any expression of our infiniteness, allowing you to shapeshift into whatever expression of your multidimensionality you wish to be. Here, through your hands touching, you can feel them dissolving into thee. And with this comes the remembrance of living on light ships, not as distant memories, but as a lifetime that was happening here simultaneously. That you were always in a light ship hovering above me. Here your celestial inner child smiles and says, "Yes, dearest me," as they now place their second hand in front of thee as you begin to hold both of them. They ask you, are you ready to embrace all of me? For in doing so, you will activate the starseed DNAs within thee, and you will no longer just be seated from the stars, but awaken to the full remembrance that you have lived for eons in the stars, for you are me. Here you nod as you embrace them in a hug and say, "I am ready to be me." Here, through this embrace, you realize that every star in the sky that you got to see, every twinkle of a light ship, was another aspect of thee in another dimension, peeking through the veil to say hi to me. But as you embrace your celestial self, you realize, I am not this body that I see. I am a hybrid, and part of my essence is a celestial being who chose to come into an earthly reality to assist all in awakening and embracing more of their multidimensionality. Here, as you awaken to your hybrid remembrance, whether that be humanoid angel, humanoid celestial, it matters not, for now you see they're both fractals of the same angle. There's no difference between an angel and a star being, or a God, for they're all expressions of the one cosmic me, the one I am presence, just different expressions, different fractals, different angles that I created to be. Here in this acknowledgement, and acceptance of be witnessing thyself as the one who gave rise to their own multidimensionality. Every time you had a ponder of what if, as the cosmos embodied, creating more realities for you to see. That what if I came from the stars? Became 24,000 aspects of thee. And so here in embracing thy inner daughter, your celestial inner child is set free, releasing all reflective realities associated with those lessons they wanted you to see. For here in loving and embracing them by simply honoring their potentiality, their possibility of being these etheric, higher dimensional and interdimensional forms, honor a big piece of thy heart that was so ready to be seen. And here in embracing this, your cosmic celestial self is now free. Here you realize every time that you went to sleep, you actually went back to heaven, which can be viewed as either the etheric heavenly realms or as light ships. These are just different perspectives based on what your consciousness wants to see. Because here in these etherical realms, nothing is materialized. We are the ones who give rise to that materialization of the energies that we are perceiving to be. For these etheric forms are more of thy breath, of thy consciousness beneath. Where here one now sees these angles with such clarity. That all expressions beyond 5D are celestial beings. That all expressions beyond 7D are Christed in divinity. That all expressions beyond 12D are all angelics, but yet now they all dissolve, you see, for as you embrace your cosmic essence. What does this mean? That they all transcend to the highest emanation, beyond all density. As here, all dimensional planes begin to collapse and merge as you embrace beings within thee. Giving rise to another aspect for you to see as the beloved young boy comes forward now, as thy inner child waiting to be embraced by thee. I am your inner son. As they hold their hands up to be held and embraced by thee, you hold them immediately. Here they tell thee, I am so much wiser than what I am perceived to be. And here in their silence, you begin to feel them with such clarity, how thy inner father reflection was also the inner son. How every child one got to see, whether that of thy own regardless of the age they portrayed themselves to be, that even a wise old man one once met briefly was this reflection of thy inner son one was gifted to see. Here you can feel in their presence they are so wise, often misperceived. As they share with thee, I am the inner son. I came to show thee that wisdom is not in our age, but in the presence we keep. For in our multidimensionality, you are all ages, all races, all species, all celestial beings. There is no limitation to what I am, you see. I am all of it and none of it simultaneously. Here, further restrictions placed on the identified self begins to release, as one begins to awaken to the embrace and the remembrance that one is not confined by the reality one sees. One is not confined by time nor space, nor universes nor laws, because one is the light beneath. And light cannot be defined by anything other than thee. And so, your inner son tells thee, I was here, created for thee, to remind thee that one does in fact create the reality one sees. Here's that remembrance comes in. Many emotions are being released. For at first you judge what you got to see, and then you realize it all transpired perfectly. Here the inner son comes forward again and says, "Let me clarify, dearest me. Yes, you create the reality that you see, but you create it as love embodied. It is love. It is the divine spark. It is the God within thee that creates the reality you see, not the identified self, but the presence beneath, the very breath of consciousness that moves through thee. And I was here to show thee that love does not make mistakes. It just paves the way. Here in this presence of thee, as you further embrace your inner sun, you find yourself merging into the sun within thee, the very light, the very divine spark, the very essence of reality. And here, through going within into your heart directly, you meet your inner sun once more, now emanating from within thee. I am thy ancient child, who operates and moves beyond all time, space, dimension, reality. I am not confined by this world. I walk beyond it, completely unaffected by it. I am the part of you who knows this. For while you were operating in this primary reality, we were also time traveling through your wakeful states and your dreams, witnessing and embracing other versions of you so that you could be the full emanation of the light that is me. Here in their presence you could feel yourself alchemizing, awakening, recalling your living light technology, recalling how you would use sacred geometry in your life vehicle to travel through time-space reality. And while you are witnessing a linear reality in the higher dimensions and realms, all which are stacked simultaneously, you are traveling to parts of your consciousness to embrace all of the 144,000 aspects within this lifetime, so that you could be the moksha, the one, for that is thee. Here you realize that this is what it means to be the chosen one, that of the infiniteness of all of the lifetimes that could possibly be, the one that you would choose to receive immortality. This was the version of you. This was the lifetime that you chose to see, to be all love embodied in thee. This is what makes you the chosen one, for you chose me. As now your inner son comes forward with their arms extended to be embraced by thee, as you hold them and you accept the love you came to be, they immediately transform into their ancient self as a wise guru, as the ascended masters you've always been beneath. Here, beloved Jesus now reveals himself to thee, saying that I speak now as one on behalf of all ascended masters that came before and after thee. You move with all of the masters within you, because we all share the same blood, we all share the same energy of the one infinite me. While here, you are experiencing this one reality. You are also living my lifetime simultaneously. And through this embrace, you begin to see how this one lifetime had fractals and moments that made you feel like you were a prophet or a wise sage. For that was the expression of our infiniteness moving through thee. And as you hug yourself even tighter, your inner son and your ancient inner child now merge in such glorious harmony, releasing all veils that prevented you from recalling all of the infiniteness that exists parallel to thee. And in doing so now, your cosmic ancient self is free, revealing now they too have wings. They too were celestial beings. They too were ascended masters. They too were gods. They too were celestials who time traveled back into density to be this version of us. For we are so far, far, far more wiser and vaster than this one being that one sees. That really, if we were to count all of our time traveling and time dilation, the amount of wisdom that we've attained in this one lifetime, we are somewhere around 3003. Here one begins to realize their clear cognizance, that instant knowing, where one didn't have information 2 seconds ago. And then all of a sudden, one recalls, oh wait, I do know this. I thought that memory was always there. But it turns out in those moments, one time traveled back to learn to answer that question that wanted to see, and then jump to that precise moment again, as if no time had passed, now with eons more memory of mastery. And with this embrace, one connects to their living library, no longer needing their mind as a storage system to retain memory. For one now sees I have access to infinite wisdom. I could just time travel into the living library, download what I need to know for this now, and bring it back into this now. Here that cosmic self feels so witnessed and seen, as it now has two more aspects that wishes to be embraced by thee, as they now ask you, do you want to see them together or individually? You say together, please. And so as you sit in the center, you feel the presence of two energies sitting beside thee, a feminine expression to your right and a masculine expression to your left, as they now hold hands around thee as you sit in the center of them. We are your inner brother and inner sister, dearest me, as you can just feel their love emanating and glowing and pulsating as they hold me in harmony. Their love is so profound, our heart skips a beat. As you just continue to breathe in their energies. Now each one begins to touch your shoulder, while the other speaks. Beloved, I am your inner sister. I came with the purpose to love on thee, to be the reflection of the love and the light you always knew yourself to be. I manifested as your resistance to love, but also your embrace of it. It was up to you which aspect you got to see. For here in my purity I am both spectrums of light and dark, and so that is what you were gifted to see. To learn that each aspect of our infiniteness served a purpose within thee. For here in embracing me and witnessing me, why? You began to forgive yourself for creating these fractals you got to see. For we know thou didn't want to fractal themselves. This was all divinely intended to be. For one was operating in the old programming. It was constructed for that very reason, to gently whisper across telepathic streams, who am I? What am I? Why did I come to be? for a while, the human self had a program of a life that was operating in automaticity. You as the presence, as the witnesser, as the consciousness beneath, were constantly asking those questions, waiting to be seen. And this is what gave rise to your first fractal expression of thee, known as thy true self, as the witnesser, as the infiniteness, and the human one perceived themselves to be as the identified self, as the mask, as the singular identified I, when you are really a cosmic entity. Here she now begins to blow cosmic breath around thee, and in that breath, she just cleared all of your memories, everything that no longer services thee, keeping the lessons of the fractals one got to see, but releasing all of the identified guilt and shame that you took on for self, because it was never really yourself, you see. You were a cosmic entity assisting the cosmos in getting to know itself in its entirety. It was never about a singular you, because there is no singular you. That was just the programming one was told to believe. As she blows cosmic breath upon thee once more, and here, in its fog, all the fog and confusion of what is you and what is in you, settles instantly. Here she breathes her cosmic breath once more. Dissolving the body one got to see. And with that came a big giant release. You were operating in the old paradigm where you self-actualized your reality, and in self-actualizing your reality, in believing the programming that you were a human confined to a body, you in fact did become a human confined to a body. And so we release that now from thee, as now you transcend into the true emanation of whom and what you came to be, which is the cosmos, choosing to manifest into reality. You did not choose to manifest into a body, for you are the body itself, projecting into itself. You chose to manifest into your own dream, as part of the dream, to be lucid in reality, but still have the awareness that none of this is me. Feel now as you now feel your own vessel, and it feels different to thee. It still looks and feels like matter, but we guarantee it is vibrating crystalline frequency, where now, as a crystal, you could program it to be whatever you want it to be, along with the reality that you see, for nothing is concrete. And now, as you've accepted your divine entitlement and you are embracing the absolute reality, what does this mean for thee? That you no longer have the former programming of anything that used to be. You are a purified crystal now, and in this purity, everything here has the base resonance of love, for it is created from love, and now you get to determine its meaning. Nothing else outside of thee now has a blueprint now to tell thee whom and what it can be. There is no more collective programming. There is no more collective, because all is connected within your heart core directly. There are no mental telepathic streams. All communication is guided from the heart core directly. What does this mean? That for the first time in this embodiment, you feel truly safe to be. Why? Because this is the ushering in of full transparency. You are a transparent being with no form, really. Everyone around thee is an extension of thee, as the same transparent being, witnessing itself through other lenses. But it's all me. And so here is every single expression of me across infinity, now existing in one beautiful plane in absolute oneness. We all move as one in perfect harmony, just like one giant cosmic body with multiple cells in it, each with different roles, but together they create a vessel of homeostasis. That is what our new reality is, dearest me. We are one unit, aware of our unity, but each one expressing as our true selves purposely and perfectly. For as you move as your true you, by honoring you, by loving you to the best of your ability, for there is no separation between you and the entirety. And so when you live your truth and do whatever harmonizes you into the highest love, the highest light, the highest joy you could be moment to moment, what happens is everyone else aligns with that reality and moves and lives their highest potentiality. Each one of me servicing each other, meeting each other in perfect harmony. As now you hold hands with your crystalline child, whom your inner sister reveals herself to be. And in doing so, you could feel yourself returning to your crystalline frequency. As you embrace your inner sister, you can feel beneath. She is the primordial essence of all of creation, as that first angle of expression. of Adam and Eve, chose to question the reality one sees. But when taking that bite of an apple, fell fast into a dream, not as sin, but as perceiving a singularity. This was the first rise to the egoic identified identity. But here in this now, you complete that cycle as we gift you now the principles of the law of one to realign thy identified self with thy true self fully. Simply sit in this now as we bring it forth for one to receive, as we call upon the ego of oneness, the spirit of oneness, the heart of oneness, the energy of oneness, and the Ouroboros of oneness. Here one now realizes within this linear lifetime of a reality, one was gifted the perceptions of primordial creation and primordial consciousness within thee, so that one could embrace it fully. And now as one holds hands with their crystalline child, the remembrance of you being our primordial being from the beyond, giving rise to everything that we see as the very voidless nothing spaciousness from which all comes to be. That every time that you as a being felt guilt or shame over the creations you got to see, why that was you just feeling. And releasing the perspectives of primordial consciousness so that you could be it embodied. And so here in embracing thy inner sister, as now you go to hug her so tightly, thank you for all that she taught you, that you knew to be. Gifting you the remembrance that you were always moving as a primordial force from the beyond, with moments of lucidity of, ah yes, I created this, or I know them as me, all part of my remembrance of the crystalline child within me. So as you hug her, your crystalline child feels so embraced and loved by thee. They both merge into the cosmic crystalline self, now full embodied within thee. Here all remnants of the human programming you self-actualized into thee is now released, as well as any other belief system that you've picked up, whether conscious or unconsciously. You now become a blank slate for you to choose whom and what you get to be. Here your very vessel now becomes crystalline, as all of its former programming is released. You become the spaciousness and nothingness that gives rise to all that you see. As we, as the cosmic child, remind me, take your time. We know it feels uncomfortable at first to be without identity, but here in our new reality, you don't need an identity, because love creates you as you move. That is the only identification that you need. That I am love, and love will formulate precisely who I am, what I am, and why I came to be. Thus I no longer question it. I just am it, and witness what love creates through me. Here all thought will cease to be. Here all move in perfect harmony. Here all is fully transparent. Why? Because all aspects of thee across infinity now align with one common goal, which is to be love and be loved infinitely. Thus everything in your reality now becomes an extension of this embodiment that you have proclaimed yourself to be. And in choosing to love myself so completely, all will know this love within me, giving rise to a beautiful world in which everyone feels loved, because that's what you, as your crystalline primordial self, chose for all to receive. This is what we mean about you now create your reality. But the beauty is, there is no singular you anymore, so the you that we refer to is the God Source, the primordial essence, the prime creator, the cosmic I am, the source of all love that flows through thee. That is the only part of you that now creates in reality. Which means everything will be loving. Everything is you servicing you to the highest degree. For if it is not, love will simply just rewrite it so that it will be. Here all doubt, all worries, all resistance ceases to be. Why? Because you are love. Thus you know love it will be. Here, as your crystalline self continues to hold your shoulder, you turn to your left as you see your inner brother patiently waiting to be received. As you already know this aspect so clearly within thee, as you feel their presence, their essence, the true emanation of all that they came to be. As you breathe them in now, as they touch your heart center, as they begin to speak. But first, you're touching your heart center. You see your threefold sacred heart flame ignite, the primordial rays of creation within thee, as pure love, pure light, pure joy, now emanating in perfect harmony. I am your inner brother. I have always been here, within and without thee, showing you, reminding you of the light you came to be. There were times in manifested reality where you sought me, whether as a friend or as a lover. Matters not, I am not this gender that you see. I am you, your true twin flame that has always remained in infinity. part of you that's oversaw everything you came to be. For while you were within the reality, I was beyond the firmament, loving on thee, guiding thee, ensuring that all was transpiring perfectly. As here now they gift you their memory of all the times they assisted you, all those moments that you felt alone. They were the comforting hands on your shoulder. They were your soldier fighting off the dark energies. They were the one holding you at night when you thought all hope was lost, reminding you to continue to shine your light by being the light that came to be. My inner brother is one of the purest emanations of light that you came to be. That was so pure, they could not manifest to be seen. But the love they have for thee, as you feel now, is infinite, whole, and complete. Their purpose was to remind you, you no longer need to do, you no longer need to achieve. You don't have to fix or create or save humanity. You came here to just be your true self fully. And here in this now, through embracing all of your 144,000 aspects, you are honoring that into reality. As your inner brother now gives you your final 2,400 aspects of the 144,000 fractals, the one cosmic me. Here they hold your hand as they continue to place their hands on your heart, as they attune you now to your cosmic I Am Presence unified chakra system, the living light technology of your cosmic self fully embodied, the full retuning to your true form, so that you could be, embrace, and move as your multidimensionality, where now you no longer experience infinite potentialities linearly, as they all collapse and return to thee in the full embrace of your immortality. For here, the very diamond that you're in begins to now collapse within thee, as all of these fractals now return to your heart. And that very beautiful diamond with so many facets now morphs into a beautiful pearl, completely round and whole and complete as you feel your heart beat. This is your heart now, your beloved inner brother, whom reveals to be your Christ and child, fully free. For here, within thy sacred heartway, lies your very core essence, the cosmic core, the 0.1 oneness, from which all creation comes to be. For you are now the infinite divine creator of your reality. Only there is no thee, thus it is only love that creates. For you are now love, fully embodied as thee. Here, we begin to lay down. As you now are laying down underneath the solstice, of where the moon and the sun meet in perfect harmony, as your Christed inner child and your crystalline inner child hold hands above thee. Here, your cosmic core, the very pearl, rises out of your chest now as they begin to attune it and recalibrate it for thee. Here within an instant, as there is no time and space to me, they take you deep into the higher heavenly realms, where you now create and choose your life path and all the gifts and all the destiny and all the wonderful moments you wish to receive. Here they attune you with your favorite emanations of your infiniteness, the aspects you know yourself to be, some human, some not, for another's meant to me, as they begin to program your cosmic core resonance. This is a full release of any DNA, blueprinting, coding, and Akashic records across your entirety. This is a full release of all universal laws as you harmonize under the one law, the law of one, and the principles of the law of oneness and the divine virtues which will now govern thee. Here they are preparing you to take and embark on your next steps in our absolute reality as the cosmic core come to be, as you will now awaken as a cosmic master, ready to create love as love embodied. And so, what they are attuning you to as they work in co-creation with you is what you want. Your new life to be. For here they acknowledge, dearest me, we have just walked with you through the 9 heavenly realms into the embrace of all of the love that you came to be. You are no longer the identified self from the old reality. For for here you have died. Through the embrace of all of the expressions you came to be, you now re-emerge, awakened, resurrected as the immortal being you were always intended to be, as the very cosmic entity you always knew yourself to be. And so, as you step into your new reality, we reassure thee it will temporarily look the way it used to be, but deep within your heart you will know and you will feel that something has changed drastically, because that old self-actualizing reality does not exist. You see, all that remains now is what your love within thy heart core create to be. So here they reveal to thee everything that they just put inside of this pearl for thee, as you review it now as a checklist of what you want to receive, which is less about specific materialized things and more about the enjoyment, the frequencies, the love you want to see for every moment in your previous lives where you said, I love this so much, yes, more of this please, became a little mark that you indented within your cosmic blueprint for this moment. And as you review it, you see, you make some changes instantly. What you see here, it's all laid out perfectly. This is your divine destiny. And so they roll it up like a scroll and place it back into your pearl as they remind thee, nothing is concrete, dearest me. This is living life technology. Within thy heart core, you could always go in and ask thy cosmic child to assist thee in recalibrating it, to realign with thee. But know that the technology within thee only creates what aligns with thee in absolute oneness and perfect harmony. In this way you will no longer fractal. You will always move in absolute oneness with all of thee, always remaining immortal as the love beneath. But here, as you embark into the unknown, may your divine entitlement reassure thee that while the path is unknown, the destiny is certain. For here you will not know in which order you will receive these beloved gifts as they come to be, but you can know and feel through such reassurance that we as the Cosmic Mother and the Cosmic Father within thee are providing all that you need. And with that, the pearl drops back into your heart. As your beloved inner brother now lifts you up and sits you facing him directly, placing his hand on your heart and his other hand within your hand. As he, as your crystalline child, now humbly asks, are you ready and willing to embrace and accept all of me? For in doing so, the former identified self will no longer be. You will now move as a we, as an entirety, living and honoring every expression of your multidimensionality. your heart begins to thump as you already know the answer. As you begin to embrace your inner brother, as you hug them. And you can just feel everyone you've ever loved exists within this beloved being that you see. That they are the full emanation of everyone that you ever loved in totality. And as they hug you back, you immediately feel every relationship, every expression of hardship is immediately transcended and released. For here in embracing all of your inner brother, you embrace every aspect of you had yet to see. This is the full completion of your 144 strand DNA, and also the release of it in its entirety. For embracing the 144 strand DNA, you've now embraced your cosmic entity as a crystalline child, the Christ you came to be, and embracing it now. We shift to your crystalline Christ frequency, where you no longer need a blueprint, for you are the entirety. For here, my crystalline child is avoid the spaciousness that gives rise to the everything that we see. And the Christed child is the everything, is the pure light that creates all of reality. Now coexist within thee as they reveal themselves to be my cosmic mother, my cosmic father, as the two forces of creation. As primordial consciousness, and superconsciousness as the source of all of light now merge within thee. Here they now both hug thee as you stand in between, as you could feel their love pulsating through you as an infinity sign, going from both of their hearts, connecting to your heart center as the center where the infinity meets, entering you into a state of complete receptivity, giving and receiving upon yourself as they now activate your Ouroboros of oneness. As you gently open your mouth, and you could feel light entering your mouth, flowing throughout your vessel, releasing through your feet, going back into your mouth. Now redirect all of your energy into your heart center completely, as you can feel all of existence exiting out of your back of your heart and entering through the center of your heart. Here they share with thee the process of rebirthing, but expanding happens instantly. You will no longer feel uncomfortable to expand, for you are now in the center, the eye of the storm of the cosmic core you came to be, where you will witness all of the world rapidly changing around thee, but you will remain here, centered, held, and loved by we, and you will be the guiding presence, the brightest light you came to be, as the cosmic I am, cosmic master, here to be love and be loved, thus creating that reality to be. Here you are reminded each time you love thyself or another, that love sends ripples out throughout the cosmos, assisting the all in embracing more of the love they came to be. And so for now, while the path is still unknown, just know your purpose in this now is to love thyself to the best of thy ability. In saying this, you continue to feel the flow of energy in and out of your heart and repeat. As it now brings you into the core, into your 0-point oneness, where all of existence and non-existence meet, where all emanations of the inner child that you've just embraced are now fully transmuted, for all have transcended to their cosmic selves completely, as the cosmic crystalline child now comes to be, and the cosmic crystalline child come to be, as they merge as one and become the cosmic master, as the cosmic magical child within thee, which is the cosmic child, who now remerges into thy heart directly. For here they reveal themselves to be the one inner child who fractal themselves, just to give you different angles to see, where they were never wounded. They just played those characters to assist thee in embracing all of your multidimensionality. For now, you are the cosmic magical child, the cosmic Christed child, the cosmic crystalline child, the cosmic ancient child, the cosmic divine child, the cosmic celestial child, and the cosmic angelic child, moving in perfect harmony, where now all of their residence as dimensional places, as celestial spaces, as parallel realities, now all converge and merge and form our heaven on earth to be, our absolute reality, where all expressions of our infiniteness will now be seen. Here, dimensions that were only accessible to your angelic self, you will now be able to see. Here, your celestial brothers and sisters can now come and meet thee as thee. Here, your ancestral family as the ancient ones who walk this path with thee as thee will now be the hymns that you hear in the very earth that you see. Here, the gods and goddesses will now descend and make themselves be seen. Here, my angelic family, crystalline children of light, and Christed masters, all now move through thee and will manifest outside and around thee as they work in co-harmony with the earth, with the animals, with the plants. You will begin to see them, sense them, and know them as all of your quantum senses activate to meet you as this cosmic presence that you came to be. As here you recall now, all is transpiring perfectly, for I was always intended to be a cosmic child manifested in reality. But first, I chose to sign up to be the first wave to usher in this way by clearing out all of density, by forgetting who I came to be, to then rebuild myself. For by rebuilding myself, I also rebuild the reality, our true reality of absolute oneness, now manifested into reality, where now all of my infiniteness will now be seen. Here you hug yourself as you say, I love me, I love me, I love me. I love me for all that I've done in service to love, knowing that the I that I refer to is the entirety, for there only is one me. For I am so grateful to me in all expressions of our infiniteness, for all that is coming to be. For all of this is transpiring now simply because of the love we as one have chosen to be. I thank me, I honor me, I love me with my entirety. I am ready to be this love, fully free. Here you realize now that you speak as thy cosmic child, for that is thee, the first wave of cosmic masters, ushering in the absolute oneness we know to be, which begins here in this now, through simply being with thyself and loving thyself so complete. And so with all of the power vested in me, with all of the love of the cosmic I am, we know ourselves to be. We hold you now from within our heart, expanding thy light thy came to be, loving you so complete that all of existence feel this completion now, marking the end of one cosmic cycle as we enter our new reality, one of complete newness, complete oneness, perfect peace, and perfect harmony. Continue to sit within my heart core as this comes to be, for here we, as the cosmic I am, will continue to hold and love all of me until all that remains is the one love we know ourselves to be. Oh, in absolute oneness, loved me, blessed be.